Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, and I'm joined via Skype once again by Tommy.
Hello.
And Mike.
Mike, dear God, we're more than halfway past through 2020 now. So
we made it to July.
Keep going.
We made it to July.
We made it to July.
Go. Slide down that hill.
Of course, I'm still waiting for Galactus, any moment.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, the year is a little bit over half over. My beautiful wife Tina's not joining us this week, but she did just celebrate her birthday. It was a lot of fun.
Woo!
Made the most of the pandemic. Friend of hers organized a surprise birthday parade as well in the neighborhood, and Mike partook in that. Thanks again, Mike, for coming for that. That was a lot of fun.
I was gonna take a break from work and come do that, but I had an appointment scheduled literally at 3:00. I was like, the one day I get an appointment, it's literally at 3. I couldn't reschedule it.
Timing ever.
Yeah, but still, it's all right. I mean, she had a blast. The kids made it fun. I took the day off. Got her some Chicago-style hot dogs from Wrigleyville. She loved that. And
those look good. Those look really good, by the way.
If you haven't had Wrigleyville, they're really, really good. They actually get the sweet relish and the Vienna-style beef like you would in Chicago. It's really good. And,
that's cool.
Animal Crossing does throw a great birthday party, by the way. That's what she woke up with as well. So it was a lot of fun to play that as well. So
nice.
For us, though, we're talking wrestling. Our Twitter account is at @CCG_WrestleCast. Subscribe here to the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be recapping Night 1 of Fyter Fest and previewing Night 2, a 2-week event. Night 1 was awesome. It was so much fun to watch. I even had to watch it again on the TNT On Demand app as well. So, wrestling has really kicked into full gear. Well, not really full gear yet. That's another pay-per-view.
That's in November.
But we got this to talk about, and within the coming weeks, well, actually next week, we're going to be also talking about Slammiversary and Extreme Rules, which, depending on whatever other names they throw on Extreme Rules, who knows what's going to be called by then. We're just going to call it Extreme Rules for now. So
I really would rather watch Slammiversary at this point because horror show just makes no sense at all.
Yeah,
so I'll
when you say it too fast, and then you get confused about. Never mind.
Yeah.
So.
We'll start Night 1 of Fyter Fest. We're not going to be giving a rating on this, just kind of talking through what we liked and disliked, what we enjoyed, and a lot. The matches were great. I mean, they were a lot of fun to watch. And I mean, it opened. It was basically a part of Dynamite. So you had the commercial breaks, you had the picture-in-picture. First of all, Jericho's work on commentary is awesome, and the fact that he showed up on Canada Day wearing a Don Cherry style Canada suit was amazing.
I don't know how he thinks of half of this stuff. First of all, it's like
the only thing that would have been better would have been a full Canadian tuxedo, but I'll accept it.
I wondered if he called Don Cherry to get that tux, because I swear I might have seen Don Cherry do that in some old Hockey Night in Canada video. Who knows? Maybe, all that was missing was him talking about Bobby Orr, and he probably would have had a great impression too. So anyway,
I don't think if I had like a month to prepare, I'd be half as funny as Jericho is on the mic when I'm sure he's only given probably like 80% of his best effort. He's funny, man.
The more you see him, the more he's reinvented himself. The more he does this, the more he's making a case he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest.
Yeah.
As much as
whenever he retires from in-ring competition, please let him be the commentator for like at least Dark. Like him and Tony Schiavone do Dark together.
Work his way up.
That would be the most watched YouTube show ever.
Or Tony Schiavone or something, as he called him, like that. Like he just couldn't.
He said, I can't remember what he said anymore. I meant to watch it before we recorded, but he said something there, and I was just like, wait, what did he say? And I was like, but this is Jericho. It was a little telling. He was great.
Great night. It started off with MJF and Wardlow taking on the Jurassic Express.
Wasn't there the other tag match before that, or was that the first one?
That was the first one. Private Party and Santana Ortiz was later in the night. So
Okay.
yeah. MJF and Wardlow opened the show against Jurassic Express. Luchasaurus getting the pin on Wardlow, and majority of us thought, MJF and Wardlow, but we said that if Jurassic Express was going to win, MJF wasn't taking the pin.
Yeah.
They set the controversy up, inadvertently hits Wardlow, costs him the match. So you plant the seeds of that, of some sort of breakup and what it's going to cost MJF. But still,
Sean Diesel breakup.
Yeah, pretty much. And MJF is still not yet to take a pinfall in AEW. So this really isn't a bad look on him, I don't think, in any shape or form. He's still drawing heat. He's still putting on great matches. He's still up there, and I feel like it's a matter of time before he gets a title shot.
Yeah. And Luchasaurus got back some of his heat from the beating he took from Wardlow the Dynamite before.
Right.
And they had that lumberjack match where they didn't really lumberjack. They just used them as like pin cushions to jump onto.
Yeah.
Yeah, lumberjack. But same thing.
Oh, sure. That's what we're calling it.
That's what guys in New Japan can use for half the time.
Touche.
Oh, it was a good start, and it's always interesting watching like a pay-per-view style setting on on a cable TV, like part of a network TV show with commercials. But they ran it well. It was really nice. The women's championship was next, and arguably, this was my argument. Could have been considered match of the night, honestly.
It was one of the best showings I've seen of Penelope Ford.
Yes,
I was going to say something similar.
I feel like she shined in this, looking very strong. Made it seem as though she had a shot. And what it was interesting is when the very beginning, when Kip Sabian was kicked out of the ring from the very beginning, it's like, okay, this is Penelope Ford's time to shine and show off what she can do without someone in her corner. So, and she put up a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a squash at first, honestly.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think that's one way they can help continue to build up, well, literally everybody. So, that's cool.
Yeah, we know she's been in the business for a while. She was a part of All In even before there was an AEW. So, but Hikaru Shida's just on a tear. Right now I can't see anybody beating her, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I think Shida's been wrestling longer.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Because I can't remember when Shida debuted. I think Penelope Ford's been wrestling for a while too, but I think Shida's was the veteran in this.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it would seem like it.
One thing I have enjoyed is like some of the promos and the build up on this. A lot of what they built up for this match was rooted in some realism. A star in Japan came over, didn't know English, has spent the last year learning English and very, very well on it. So they're not only highlighting the storyline, but what they're doing outside of the ring, their own personal accomplishments, which I think is really cool. Something different.
Yeah.
AEW TNT Championship, and this one had some controversy.
Does Cody know any other kind of match?
No, I don't think so. At this point,
he learned well from his dad when it comes to having screwy finishes to the match.
Oh man,
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
there's a reason they're called dusty finishes.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's definitely what this was. Cody technically gets the pin, but he was in the middle of a chokehold. I didn't see any evidence that he had passed out or tapped out. They didn't really show a camera angle of that. So
no, they didn't. So
yeah, but
go
ahead, Tommy. You talked about it before we started recording, so you might as well. It's just
I loved the Jake Hager knocked out that ref. You saw it coming, and it was just so good. That ref took one for the team, man. I loved it. I don't know why I love that so much, but that poor ref was just getting sucker punched.
Yeah.
So Tommy loves seeing referees get knocked the hell out. I don't know what it is.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Depending on the ref, it's just funny to me. Like anytime, like I remember seeing like Bryce Rumsberg, and I've seen Mike and Nassau get knocked out. It's just funny to me sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's also the fact that I stood next to Jake Hager, and he's like a half a foot taller than me, and it's so I know a punch from him hurt. I don't care how much I don't care how much he pulled back. That man lightly pushed you. It probably felt like a car hitting you. So I don't care.
Do you have a grudge against some old indie ref you used to see in San Antonio or something?
Yeah, like what's going on with that?
I don't hate him, but I'm kidding.
I was about to ask if Lance Archer was ever a special referee, and maybe something happened, and I don't know.
Well, he did take a pin one time and blame me for it, so maybe that's why.
That happens all the time.
Anyway,
I feel like anytime he's lost, he's blamed. Even in Japan,
yeah. He lost.
I have felt like that. I have felt like there was a Wrestle Kingdom I was watching live one time. They lost, and I felt like he looked right at the camera and knew I was watching. It's like, it was your fault. I know it. I'm gonna come back to Texas and kill you.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't doubt it.
That out one time. So
I wouldn't doubt if he texted you after he lost to Cody for the TNT Championship. Was like, "It's your damn fault, Tommy." So I wouldn't.
I will never confirm whether or not that happened. You'll never know.
And
someone check Tommy's phone records.
And think about the people he could send after you. Mm-hmm. He could send Suzuki and Jake the Snake.
First of all, a death by Suzuki is literally what's going on my tombstone. If that's how I die, that's going to be my mark of honor.
Like, yeah.
And all of you will not cry at my funeral, because if Suzuki kills me, believe me, that's how I want it to go.
No, he went out the way he wanted.
Can I take a selfie? Can we get a picture before you murder?
That'll be my obituary.
He went out the way he wanted. We're just going to give the Hunger Games, that
whatever.
Yep.
Now the Taz promo. This was outside of the wrestling. This one made the rounds and pissed off a lot of people at WWE, supposedly. Who wants to do their best Taz Red Hook District accent and deliver the line that got everybody going crazy on?
Not me. You go, Tommy.
Okay, I'll say. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Trust me, I wanted to do this.
Yeah. Here we go.
Because we don't run a sloppy ship. Now, who's going to be Brian Cage and look real nervous right now?
It's not so much that he said that. It's not so much that he said that. He integrated into why they had postponed Moxley versus Cage. We talked about it last week. Was it going to happen? They decided to push it back a week and put it as Fight for the Fallen. So, yeah. There you go.
But believe you me, if I had known you wanted me to do that, I'd have practiced I'd have rewatched that promo like 10 times and got the whole speed. I might do that for my channel. I might rewatch that and just practice it, get some sunglasses, and just film it like outside in my backyard. I might.
Off the cuff, it was pretty good. I will say that. So, but
it reminded me of like one of my favorite promos he ever did was at an old ECW like house pay-per-view before they were like mainstream, and he challenged Shane Douglas for the TV title, and it was like that same kind of intensity and calling people out. And it's like I just love Taz as a talker. It's just so good. So.
Yeah. This one was just. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say it's kind of good too, because not saying like WWE kind of neutered him, but he got real kind of jokey as a commentator, especially over his time in WWE.
Yeah.
That kind of fired the competitor. He didn't have to show it. Obviously, he was a much funnier, making quips and stuff. So it's been kind of nice to see him back in this role, being more serious.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's good at talking. He can be a funny commentator, but it's kind of nice to see this too, where he's serious and it's like old Taz there.
He can be what you want him to be, even as a heel commentator in Impact with the whole Aces and Eights thing. He was the Aces and Eights representative commentary.
Yeah.
Still,
whenever he would like get that sinister laugh when Aces and Eights were winning, it was like that was one of the things about Aces and Eights that worked, because you believed that. You're like, dude, they're evil because Taz is their Dr. Claw. So.
But I feel like this is even more so about them giving people free reign with promos. It's one knock where WWE is everything super scripted. Writers read it word for word, say it word for word. And you can tell with AEW, this stuff is bullet points, and that's representative here.
Yeah.
Here's what we want you to touch on. Mention Moxley. And he took it to another level because Brian Cage's reaction was priceless. Like, I didn't know he was going to say that. So.
Page's reaction reminds me of one time, the one time CM Punk went back to ROH after he got signed. It was for a special deal because like half their guys couldn't make the show. So Tommy Dreamer, ironically, let Punk go to an ROH show. And Bryan Danielson said something about WWE. He said, "Hey, they're not going to sign me for a long time, so I don't care." So that's kind of like how Taz and Cage were. Look, they're not signing us for at least another good 5 years. By then, maybe they'll forget what I just said.
I mean, not that they can afford anybody. They just let a bunch of people go anyway, as it is. So, I mean, what
anyway,
do you do?
Mm-hmm.
But Mike, you said it before we recorded.
Can't afford.
How great is it to let managers manage do their job?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's one of the things I've enjoyed about it. And I know we always, I mean, that's what we do. We compare WWE and AEW, but I've heard from people, like even Cornette's talked about in the past, like WWE got away from managers. You were never going to get over as a manager. They didn't use them. Mm-hmm. Even Heyman had to be called an advocate. He was never, the manager of Brock Lesnar. AEW has tons of managers. They are, mainly heel, but not only heel, but they're speaking for their person. They're out in front, and they're playing an integral role. Even Arn Anderson, I think it's kind of silly that he has the coach's little play card, but they actually use it because if you ever notice, Cody pulls out random submission moves, and they mention that. They're like, oh, what if he pulled it off? Jericho, speaking of Jericho, calls it his Denny's menu, but...
I think that's one of the things that was.
Or Waffle House menu, I think. Waffle House menu.
That's so true. Although I'm sitting there wondering if he printed out stick figures of certain moves from a wrestling video game. It's like, okay, try this, try that. He's almost, you think he's got a headset on. He's calling moves into Cody's ear or something like that.
It would be even better if he was just on the side of the ring, blue bear claw razor 74.
Yeah.
And to me, little touches like that are ridiculous, but it's just I love it. There's no reason for him to have that.
And he serves the purpose, especially in Cody matches, because he lets everyone get involved. So.
Yeah. And that even itself in Cody is just kind of pushing the borderline of, Cody's turning heel at some point.
Yeah, he's doing a long burn on that, but it's coming.
Arn, for a long time after his retirement from in-ring competition, has been a face. Always cheered. How great would it be to see him as a heel manager? This is kind of a way for him to reinvent himself.
That'd be cool. I'm down for that.
Manager's great. That Taz promo was awesome, and then this one didn't get a whole lot of publicity, but Tommy Dreamer himself last Tuesday on Impact had a great promo towards Moose, because it appears they are setting up him versus Moose for Moose's TNT World Heavyweight Championship. And he basically ran him down about how, you played in the NFL, couldn't hack it there. The only reason you got anywhere is because you had guys like Tom Brady on your team. And, nobody paid to see you in the NFL, and nobody pays to see you wrestle. And I'm just like,
ouch.
It was a week of great promos on places not named WWE.
And the thing is, though, Moose's heel character, I gotta admit that I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And so to hear someone like Tommy Dreamer just rip him apart. That's the kind of thing I love about wrestling. It's I love a good heel. I love when a good heel gets torn to shreds. By someone just talking. I love it. It's so good.
Now, a tag team match, Private Party versus Santana Ortiz. The reason this was later in the card, we come to find out, is the winner is getting a shot this week against the winner of the tag title match that was main eventing last week.
What's ironic? If I had known that before, I think I would have flipped my pick.
Yeah, and I probably would have stayed with what I had, because I thought, hey, Santana Ortiz, we said, had a shot to build something up.
Ironically, if I had known that ahead of time, I would have flipped my pick. I really would have, and I would have been wrong.
Yeah.
But Private Party wins, but this was something I feel like you can build a huge rivalry off of. I feel like both teams could use this.
I think now with not everything, but some of the teams coming back to AEW and getting to be on TV again, they're kind of maybe reshuffling a bit, like what they probably had planned. Mm-hmm. And guys like Private Party and Santana Ortiz, that's just too. You could easily see a LAX Lucha Bros rivalry off those two teams, just guys who just every time they step in the ring, whether it's the main event or not, that's the main event.
Now, there are two things I really enjoyed about night one, and one of them happened during this match. Orange Cassidy sitting near the commentary table for this match, and Jericho just getting pissed off at the fact that Orange Cassidy was there. Didn't say anything. He never really does. And when the match was over, Jericho threw something to Cassidy. He just gets up and just kind of casually flips his chair over, and Jericho blows a lid. And it was like, oh my God, they got to be broken up.
That vicious pull apart. It took half a whole person to hold Cassidy back. I don't know how he did it. I mean, he had to use his whole arm to hold him back.
This might go down, and I'm not exaggerating here, one of the best Jericho matches we ever see when they lock up.
I cannot wait.
I'm not even kidding. This could go down as one of the favorites people talk about, and everyone thinks like this won't be good. And I'm like, you could not be more wrong. This could be fantastic.
I'm pretty sure Cassidy was just like leaning over the dude's arm while he was holding it.
Yeah, he was.
Wow. I can't wait.
I love Jericho because he's selling it so hard. Just 4 people holding him back.
Here's what's going on in the back of my mind. I'm thinking to myself, how hard is Jericho fighting the urge to just bust out laughing this entire time? Because this is the chief guy who I know whenever him and The Rock were cutting promos with each other or against each other, they were both fighting laughter the entire time. Like the time that they both tore into Rhino, Booker T, and Stephanie, there's no way they didn't immediately go to the back and fall out laughing right after they were done. And this is one of those cases where he gets pulled to the back. He's like, okay, let me go. I have to laugh now.
Yeah.
JC, what's that game on Wild and Out they play where you have the water in your mouth?
Talk and
you
spit.
try to make it.
Talk and spit.
Talk and spit.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Wrestlers would be really good. I know the Usos were on there once, but
so was
Sasha. You know what? It's funny you say that. Sasha Banks was on.
She did talk and spit.
Talk and spit.
She was actually really good at talk and spit. Yeah.
I was just gonna say because like the amount of times they've had to do that over their careers and keep face and not break.
Yeah, Sasha Banks did it and she won. Yeah, because everyone knows.
Side note.
Yeah.
Side note: there's no way Sasha and Bayley are doing the exact same thing with their stuff.
They have to be.
Every time they put the other in a match.
They are WWE right now, dude. Yeah. They're on every show.
Hey. And I'm here for it.
Yes.
Bayley and Sasha are going to save us.
Ding dong, hello?
Yeah. They're what's keeping it going right now with WWE.
Yeah, they are, man. Mm-hmm. I can watch those two. Like, every time they're on screen, I'm like, I've seen this before, and I want to see it again. Put them back on screen.
They're great.
Yeah.
No, I said that the whole Orange Cassidy being there was number one of, like, 2 things I really enjoyed besides the Taz promo. Number 2 was the fact that the Best Friends were driven to their championship match by Trent's mom in a minivan. It doesn't get any better than that.
It's the little things sometimes in wrestling. It's just the little things. Sometimes with a guy like me, I love the 5-star technical classics, Wrestle Kingdom main events. Other times, I'm a simple man. When 2 grown men who are pro wrestlers in this sport, who I've seen have hardcore matches, get driven into the arena by one of the tag team's mother, who gives him a kiss on the cheek as he walks for his championship match.
But she had to call him back to come get a kiss. That was the thing.
That's right. She did. I'm sorry. But when that happens, I'm just like, you know what? This is what I love about pro wrestling. And in these dark times when, pro wrestling future is uncertain and I'm worried, are we going to have pro wrestling in the future? That happens and I'm like, we're good. Everything's fine. We're just getting rid of the bad seeds. The good ones are still here.
Okay, a few other things connected off this. And I guess I haven't seen it, but I saw the clip. I guess it's on Being the Elite. Uh-huh. So first off, they have, a clip on Being the Elite of the Dark Order making it look like they're trying to get Trent's mom. So it's like the Best Friends and Cassidy and the Dark Order. Those 2 guys walk up to Trent. They're like, look who our newest recruit is. And she's like, hey, and she takes the mask. She's like, Mom, what are you doing? And then she has the Kool-Aid cup and he's like, don't drink the Kool-Aid, Mom. But the best part is, so Trent takes his mom away and the 2 guys are like, what? Chuck Taylor walks away and goes, you 2 are spooky perverts. I was like, oh, y'all need to find the clip. It was
okay, yep.
I need to watch Being the Elite then, so yeah.
I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm watching Being the Elite.
The other thing kind of connected to that, Evil Uno, did you see his tweet about AEW has a whole bunch of vehicles. They need to make their own crazy racing game.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I did see.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Cody's truck, FTR's truck, the golf cart, Trent's mom's minivan.
Wait, and then not just the golf cart, but it has to be Rebel driving the cart while Britt Baker's in the back.
Oh, well, that one. I was thinking of the one that keeps running over Sammy Guevara.
That one too. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
This is a Twisted Metal AEW game just waiting to happen. Basically, is what it is. You know, it's.
I've never wanted a video game so badly in my life until you said those words just now. Can you imagine the insanity that would be in that game? It would be the dumbest best game of all time.
Yes.
If you're watching if you're watching this, Cody, Twisted Metal AEW, you know, I know you're a gamer, so I'm sure you would love to see that.
Kenny Omega, get on this right now.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyway,
we should totally tag Kenny in this, and he'll be like, ha 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 ha. Wait a minute.
Wait, that's a great idea.
Wait a minute, that's a great idea. What am I talking about?
Now, of course, that led into the AEW Tag Team Championship match. Omega and Page against the Best Friends. Private Party, having won the match prior, was going to be taking on the winner of this one, night 2. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Omega and Page come out victorious, but man, the Best Friends, I thought they had a shot to win it here. So you know,
so close. I was so convinced.
I mean, honestly, for as kind of funny as their team was supposed to be at first, they've given them a serious run, and they had a hell of a match. You know, I guess they're going a little bit further with the Omega Hangman storyline, but it was a really good finish to the show.
Yeah, I've always seen like Taylor and Trent as like one of those teams where like they're funny, but there's also like that. There's also the fact that they can go. It's like it's kind of like the reverse thing of where like I think you guys were there that time when Masada wrestled Chris Hero and he used the Hurricane Rana, and like everyone's like, oh yeah, that's right, Masada can wrestle. He can just do death match.
Yeah, just do death match.
You're like, oh yeah, that's right. He knows how to wrestle. I forgot about that part. So I think it's something like that. It's just like, you know, they're funny, and that's what they get paid to do. God bless them. Make your check. I mean, you know, whatever. But when it's time to wrestle, they can go.
Yeah.
And my cat just knocked over a box and messed with some bags here. Great.
Nice.
He's bored.
Saboteur. Saboteur cat.
All right. Well, that was night 1.
Well, also real quick, talk about the post match.
Mm-hmm.
FTR down to congratulate both teams. Gives a beer to Hangman and Omega. And of course, Hangman's like, beer, heck yeah. You know, Omega accepts it at first and then dumps it out. And then, they start getting each other's face. And it's funny because people were saying, you know, the Bucks came down to try to keep them apart. But it was almost like Hangman was on FTR's side because he was like, don't waste the beer, man.
Yeah.
If they break up over a beer, that would so definitely be in character for Paige there too. So.
Yeah.
If they break up over a beer, then there's also a country western AEW song that needs to be written that hasn't been written yet. And actually, if that happens, I volunteer as tribute to write that. You know,
a sequel to "Rap Is Crap" by the West Texas Rednecks.
I remember that. I missed that. That was such a fun song.
Good old WCW.
Why did you remind me that ever happened? Why?
Because it's one of the highlights of WCW the later years, right? So
I'm pretty sure that's also when they had Master P and the No Limit Soldiers on the other side. I think that's why they were doing the Rap Is Crap stuff.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why.
Good times.
Pick results. Mike and I went 2-3. Tommy 3-2, and Tina 4-1. Man, she killed it. So 5 matches. We're not doing ratings on it. You know, we're making picks just for fun. But
I'm just glad I didn't go 1-4. I was convinced the only thing I was going to get right was Hikaru Shida retaining the title. I was convinced I got nothing else right that night. When I saw the matches that I saw, I was like right. I was like, woohoo!
Yes. Thankfully, we all got that one right. So. Now, night 2 is going to be interesting. As we mentioned before, Moxley versus Brian Cage has been moved back a week later, so it's not going to be this week. It'll be next week as part of Fight for the Fallen. So they're doing Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, back-to-back. As you recall, last year, both of those shows were free as it was in back-to-back months.
Yeah.
So this time around, we got 6 matches. Now, Lance Archer versus Joey Janela is first up here on our lineup here. This one's kind of booked out of nowhere, but it's kind of an interesting choice. Tina's picking Lance Archer. I'm pretty sure I know who Tommy's going. Otherwise, he's going to get a thrashing on social media, or his phone's going to blow up if he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm going Lance Archer. I don't know why I bother. He doesn't need he needs an excuse to be mean to me.
Come on, Tommy, pick Joey Janela. He's got to wait till after quarantine anyway.
He'll find a way.
Oh yeah, right. Mr. Everybody dies needs a reason to wait.
But wait 14 days.
This is an interesting booking for Janela. I feel like it's, he's not, people know who he is. He's had a history of some kind of crazy matches, hardcore matches, but he can still go. And I think this is going to be a good chance for him to showcase how well he can work with somebody much taller than him. They did a good job setting this up as part of night one too. So.
Well, I think that's kind of a good thing for both of them, actually, in a way, because you're so used to Archer destroying smaller dudes, with the exception of Cody. Mm-hmm. But now you'll have a good mesh of both guys. Both guys can go, and you see him with a smaller opponent who can go, and Janela you see with a bigger opponent who can go. So I think it's a good mix. The match came out of nowhere, but I'm down for this.
Yeah. I think it'll also play into Joey's having to pull off something crazy to try to beat him. Mm-hmm. Which is, what Joey does well. So, big
he needs an excuse.
There was a match going on? My bad.
I was just going to go get a hot dog. I decided to just do a tope over the guardrail.
Seriously.
Now, having said that, I'm also picking Lance Archer. I expect a strong showing from Joey Janela, but I think Lance Archer is going to win. Mike, are you making it unanimous? Or?
Yeah, I'm going Lance.
Okay.
I've got to say that because we kind of mentioned that in the women's match from the show from last week. They don't really do squash matches in their big matches. Even if it seems like it's a one-sided affair, let that other person, get their offense and make it look at least like they have a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you don't always get that from
they only squash their studio audience, which hey, you guys are getting a check. Just be grateful.
You guys get to watch the show. Let's be a part of it.
I'll go get squashed to get an AEW check. I don't give a damn shit.
Yeah.
Squashed by Lance?
No, someone who doesn't want to kill me. What are you, crazy? I'd rather fight Brody Lee. I legitimately would rather fight Brody Lee.
I think you want to join the Dark Order is what you're telling us, Tommy. Mm-hmm.
If it means I wouldn't have to fight Lance, sure. Why not?
You would have numbers on your side.
Technically, I was the loner, nerdy guy in high school, so apparently I'm perfect for them. So, whatever.
Yeah, except you.
Yeah. Just don't piss off
you
Brody
Lee. Yeah. Of course, I'm married now, so I guess I'm no longer in that group.
Now,
sorry,
Nyla Rose versus to be announced. They haven't said who
TBA.
or what. TBA. Well, Tina's actually picking TBA. She thinks it's going to be a surprise to the point where she's going to be Nyla Rose, whoever it is. And I mean, it's not far fetched. Nyla, ever since she won the title, lost her Hikaru Shida, and really hasn't, done a whole lot. I mean, it really hasn't gotten herself back in the title picture. So.
Who could it be that's the only thing is who could it be that would make that big enough of a impact, no pun intended?
Well,
I'm trying to figure out who got released.
See, that's my thought. Is it going to be somebody who was released? Is it somebody on the AEW roster?
It's Tessa.
Yeah. Man,
I would be shocked. I would legit be shocked.
So Tina really picked TBA?
She picked TBA. I mean,
she has won the last 3 shows. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think she's expecting a surprise.
I get that.
I mean, as far as we know, all the WWE releases, they keep talking about July 18th. And obviously we know that is Slammiversary.
Except for the NXT one.
I'm sorry?
The NXT and the PC guys only had 30 days, right? The few that got released?
I think so, because they weren't under heavy contract.
Well, they had to, because Deonna Purrazzo already debuted on Impact.
Right.
Yeah, so she's already set up against Jordan Grace.
Yeah, so they had to have had only 30 days because she jumped so fast. You forgot, she was ever even into WWE. She was there so fast.
Yeah.
Has Impact released any I mean, other than Tessa, jokingly.
That's the only one, and
that's it.
And they don't have a
they released except for like the people in the scandals, like they released Elgin, Brian, Dave, Chris. Everybody else is still there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure AEW is smart enough not to pick them up all of a sudden.
No, and they already had to do their share of people that were accused as well. So
that's true.
But whether it's somebody, I think it's somebody that has either an in-company history or it's going to be a surprise. I'm kind of inclined to follow along with Tina and say whoever the surprise entrant is or surprise opponent is for Nyla. So that's
we know it's not Sarah. We know it's not Sarah Logan.
No, we don't. And congrats to her and Ray Rowe, by the way. Parents
Congratulations.
to be. Both very excited about that. So,
yep.
It's kind of awesome to see Ray Rowe. Obviously, has a history in Texas, history in San Antonio. We remember when he debuted. So much stuff built up. I mean, we talked about the Showtime Summers Ray Rowe, how we all wanted to see that. It's something we didn't finally see until BOW. Ray had the motorcycle accident. We're all worried about him. He came back from that. Now he's in WWE. Viking wedding to the love of his life, and now he's going to be a dad.
He's essentially a Viking Terminator.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So are anybody picking Nyla Rose in this, or we all think it's going to be a surprise entrant?
I'm just going to go TBA to keep my record. So.
Honestly, I had been thinking the same all day, so I'm going TBA as well.
All right, cool.
I like when you said that, I was like, oh no way, I wasn't the only one who was thinking that. I thought I was crazy, but well, I am crazy.
Now I just want them to debut a wrestler literally named TBA.
That'd be awesome, right?
Like that's her name.
I want a wrestler named Vacant who comes out to the most generic song, a full-on bodysuit and mask with no discernible features. That way, you literally cannot tell if it's male or female.
Like just pick up like SmackDown versus Raw 2008 and go to like create a song and just pick
generic
5.
Yeah,
literally that. Like just comes out with a full-on mask that reveals nothing about their face and just wins the title.
An old morph suit, like a gray morph suit.
Yes. And then they win like a TV title, and they say Bacon won the TNT Championship. It's like, no, who had it? No, Bacon literally won it. Bacon finally was able to defend the title instead of just having it stripped from them every time because someone else comes along.
As long as the said wrestler gets in the Hall of Fame one day, that'd be so worth it. So
Bacon deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Twitter Bacon deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, definitely.
Yes, definitely. 6-man tag. Cole Cabana and the Dark Order against SoCal Uncensored, who, by the way, has probably the best T-shirt out there right now. And
I want that shirt so bad.
If you're not familiar with it, of course, their catchphrase, "This is the worst town I've ever been in." Now they have one that says, "This is the worst year I've ever lived in." And I think that's going to be a bestseller for all of AEW at this point.
I'm surprised that shirt. I wonder if that shirt's even sold out. It should be by now. Because
that shirt's going to rival Austin 316 the way this year's going.
Yeah. Well, it's through Pro Wrestling Tees, so I think they make them on demand and then ship them. So, Tina,
I'm surprised Pro Wrestling Tees I'm surprised they haven't ran out of shirts to make it. Dude, right? we gotta order more black shirts, guys. You gotta wait about 2 weeks.
Seriously.
Tina's going with SCU. I'm going with SCU. I want a damn shirt. I mean, I don't know. The whole Cole Cabana Dark Order thing is still kind of weird to me. I don't know if I fully catch on what's going on with that and why Cabana's involved.
I think it's just because Colt's generally been one of those guys who's so likable, but he's never really, at least in a promotion, a big time promotion, been pushed to the top. So I think it's kind of like he's underachieved. That's kind of the idea. I'm actually going to go with Colt in the Dark Order. Mm-hmm. I can't see Brody Lee losing again so soon. Wait, did he lost, right?
He lost to Moxley.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, I think he's won everything since then.
Right. And granted, you got Grayson to take a pin or even Cabana, but I think they're going to keep this going where Cabana really does become a part of it. Because it's funny, on Twitter, they had a promo for like AEW.com and Colt, it was just Dark Order versus SCU, and Colt's like, you mean Colt Cabana and the Dark Order? Mm-hmm. Because they already included him as part of it. But
yeah,
I think he'll join in the end. I really do.
I'm actually going to agree with Mike.
Okay.
And go Dark Order and Colt Cabana, and I just thought of my main reasoning as to why. I don't know if you guys ever saw this. There was a time in Ring of Honor where Colt Cabana was feuding with Homicide, and it got dark. Like their feud got violent, and he went to like a very violent place to deal with Homicide and the Rottweilers. And that's why I think this is the kind of thing that they can do. Because like a lot of people have never seen him go like vicious and mean. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, he never has. But then it suddenly clicked in my head, like, oh no, wait, I've seen him do that. And it was a really dark feud he had with Homicide. They were like attacking each other with like everything they could get their hands on. It was never like mystical dark, or it was just like a violent streak.
Yeah.
But he can go into that place if he needs to. So I think this could be something that they are not expecting. So yeah, I'm picking Dark Order and Colt Cabana.
Yeah, I also remember hearing from some of his podcasts back in his was it IWA Mid South days when him and Punk were starting out, that they had some really violent feuds and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think it'd be good to see something like that out of him.
Yeah.
All right. This one's an interesting one to me. I still find it weird that FTR is teaming with the Young Bucks to take on the Butcher.
They are stalling out this match that we want so badly. Like, oh my god! Like, give us the match. But
given the tease that we got last week, are they gonna just start this right now, tomorrow night? I mean, we're recording this on Tuesday. Tomorrow night 2. Are they gonna start the build up right now for this? Because it's coming.
I think they might.
Well, I mean, they've already planted seeds. I mean, FTR came to AEW and said we want to face the Bucks, but they have respect for each other. I think this match might be the one where that respect kind of, that one of them cost the other the match. One team cost the other team to be pinned. I'm actually going to go with Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade for that reason.
Okay.
I think this is going to be so I guess yes. I think this is going to be the start of friction, of like legit friction between them, not just respectful competition.
Right. Tina, for the record, is going with FTR and the Young Bucks.
Damn it!
Yeah, I know.
I changed my pick.
But I mean, I don't. All
right, Stacey, lead with Tina's picks from now on, okay?
I'm inclined to go against her on this one though, because I feel like the Lucha Brothers need a big win. They need something to get back.
They've been out a little while.
Yeah, and they're building up this FTR Young Bucks. Whether it's the Bucks leaving the FTR there, or if FTR is going to turn around, just leave the Young Bucks there to handle the rest of the whole team. So I'm going with Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros on this one. And Tommy, what about you?
Same actually. I'm going Lucha Bros, Butcher and Blade. Because for one, I know I've said this before, but I can't help it. I got to give the Bucks credit. They don't mind taking the pins in what is essentially their promotion.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even the first tag team champions. They have lost in their own promotion more often than not. And I think they're big on giving people a shot. And I think the Lucha Bros, have been able to come to to AEW. That's the world we live in at this current moment. It's not their fault, and now they're back. We have them, we have Butcher and the Blade and everything, and you have this thing building up between the Bucks and FTR. I see them getting along, but I don't see egos not being a play in this.
Yeah.
So and Butcher, Blade, and Lucha Bros just hate everybody. It's going to be the Death Pentagon pretty soon. So So once Pac comes back, it's gonna be the Death Pentagon. So that's what I'm going with them.
All right. Now AEW Tag Team Championship, Kenny Omega, Adam Page defending once again, but this time against Private Party, the one that was set up last week on night 1. Tina's picking Omega and Page to retain. I have no idea. I think this split's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna plant more seeds of it. If it's going to be over another beer, so
I'm going Omega and Page.
Okay. Go ahead, Tommy.
I'm going Private Party.
All right.
I am probably wrong because I'm going against the wisdom of Tina.
Yeah.
And but I kind of feel like, as ironic as this is, the beer pouring thing might have been the last straw for Adam Page. It's like, really, that's what we're doing now. You know what? That's it.
Hangman, I am. Like, that's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more.
We destroyed an entire bar doing that whole brawl, and now you pour a free beer away? It's like I don't even know you anymore, dude.
I'm going with the wisdom of Tina, as Tommy so eloquently put it here on this one. And I think if anything, they'll still.
Can we get shirts that say that?
The wisdom of Tina.
The wisdom of Tina.
I've definitely got. That's definitely a new one in there. I gotta make that. Put that in there.
I'd rock that everywhere. I
think there's gonna be some breakup involved. I think it's gonna happen after the match, and maybe there's gonna be some sort of fight or something like that. Who knows? And then finally, Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Oh my God!
Sure to be a bloodbath.
Yes, we think
this is gonna be. Terry Funk, Cactus Jack, Misawa, Kobashi, all in the same match. It's going to be the most technical, bloody wonder we've ever seen. I'm calling it now. Dave Meltzer, 7 stars. Give it the rating it deserves right now. Don't even wait for the match to happen. Just Dave Meltzer just go on Twitter right now and say, I'm already giving it 7 stars. It's the greatest pro wrestling match anyone will ever see.
And we don't even have to build it up for a month beforehand.
As the greatest wrestling match ever. Yeah.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, Misawa said from heaven, he looked down and said, nice. That's already the best match ever.
I like Orange Cassidy in this. I like him to just nonchalantly get under Jericho's skin. And he's shown flashes in the whole buildup for this of he's got a mean streak. He knows how to fight. He's got that in him. And I can see Jericho, if you're going to do the whole rope it up thing, and Jericho just gassing himself out, and Cassidy's like, oh, okay, fine. Just, do whatever. So, I mean, I have to expect Cassidy to do his whole light kicks to the shin, and Jericho at some point to be actually selling them like they legit hurt towards the end. So, I'm going Cassidy, and yes, I'm going against Tina. She is picking Chris Jericho. She's liking Chris Jericho on this one. So, but she was split on this one too, but she's going with Jericho. So, what about y'all?
I'm all joking aside. I was actually thinking Jericho ahead of time because Orange Cassidy fits that underdog role so well. He's already over. He doesn't need the win to get more over.
Big time.
I think Jericho is going to pull out some, nefarious methods to win the match in the end. But I think it's gonna come out of the match with Orange Cassidy looking like he should have won this. He got cheated, being super over, and then Jericho being himself, which is just going to keep you entertained. So,
all right, and Tommy, what about you?
The fans, we win. I mean, the match.
That's true.
No, I'll go Jericho. Pretty much the same reasons. Right. I'm very split. Like I really don't know because if I'm wrong on this, I legitimately do not care. Yeah. I could be 100% wrong on this, and I could not possibly care any less because the fact that we're just getting this as a thing is all that matters to me.
And it might be the main event of the night too, from some reports I'm seeing. This might be.
Why shouldn't it be?
Yeah,
it's 2 greatest wrestling stars of all time. You know what's funny? This one doesn't need cheers piped in. You can hear them literally from everyone's houses all across America watching this. Like I'm sorry, when a dude gives a half-hearted thumbs up, he's not even remotely trying, and still gets more over than half of the Monday Night Raw roster. I'm sorry. There's something to that guy.
To the point that it's on a T-shirt too, by the way, and they even gave it the red,
laziest shirt you can ever see. It's like he literally took a half-hearted selfie of himself, photoshopped it on a shirt, sold it, and yet somehow in Pro Wrestling Tees, it's probably in their top 20 T-shirt sales.
Didn't he have one up there that's the file name? Like he gave him the file for the picture. Doesn't he have one like that?
I think you're right.
I think so.
I don't know if it's still there, but I think you're right. I hope it's still there.
That's in my head. Yeah, that's the one I was like, that's great.
He's devoted to the character, even on Twitter. It's so great. Yeah. The thing he tweets out, how he promotes, if you will. So. But that's,
he promotes that guy will have a job for the next 100 years because that's how long he's gonna live because he's.
But that's Fyter Fest. I'm looking forward to it. Night 1 was great. Night 2 should be great as well. And setting up, I wonder if Taz is going to say anything else as we get into Fight for the Fallen because that's next week.
Oh man, I'm so looking forward to another Taz promo.
We'll see what happens. So, and from there, the only, I guess, kind of big noteworthy wrestling news we could mention, the U.S. title has a new design. I don't quite know how I feel about it, but it's been a while since the U.S. title got redesigned.
As much as I rag on WWE, I gotta admit, I like it.
Okay.
I was so expecting to hate it. I was when I heard that, I was like, I'm gonna hate this. I cannot wait to hate this. And I saw that, I was like, I actually like that. It's got a classic feel to it. And I was like, I like it. It's nowhere near as bad as it could have been.
I like it. I think WWE overthinks their titles and the design of them more recently. And I know it comes, some of it comes out of the Cena era of titles where you put the spinner on things and the titles kind of had to be flashy in their design. I kind of miss the days where the title just looked important, but there's nothing flashy about it. Like, y'all know my favorite belt is the big gold belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
The World Heavyweight Championship. Mm-hmm. And it just looks like it's important. It's a big freaking gold belt. Even the old WWE belt, and maybe it's because the one we grew up with, the Winged Eagle belt, which has similarity to this belt.
Yeah,
it just looked like it was important without it being a prop itself, without it being flashy. And I like the design too. I actually was like, it seems like it's more modern for our time, but still not over the top. Like the tag belts, I still don't get the gladiators and the those. So.
That's an interesting one.
I'm surprised they haven't changed those yet. I thought those would be the first ones that would get switched around. One of my favorite belts, because of its simplicity, was always the Undisputed title.
Yeah.
The Undisputed Era belt. I loved that one. I was so mad when they got rid of that.
That was a nice one too. Yeah,
that was one of my favorite looking belts. I thought that one was cool. And then again, of course, Eddie Guerrero once held it. That probably is one of the reasons why I loved it so much. So. Yeah. Eddie Guerrero had it. It had to be cool.
So consensus for the most part, we all enjoyed it. Would love to hear your thoughts. You can let us know that. So
I do think it's weird the way they revealed it though. Instead of waiting for Apollo Crews or the match, I get it. He's being a heel MVP, but
yeah,
I just thought it was kind of strange. I was like, okay.
I think it's weird, but I think that's just what they're going for with this. With the whole MVP feud. So that's probably why.
Or why do it when you don't have fans? Something like this, maybe you could have saved it for a return to having fans in the arena.
Well,
like that.
Yeah, that was the thing, though. I feel like I've heard that belt was getting was going to get a new design for like a while now. So I wonder if they had it right before the pandemic hit and people had to leave or whatever. They couldn't have fans anymore, so they kind of held it. Now they're just like, you know what? Let's just get it out there and move on. Because again, we don't know when we're getting fans, real fans.
Yeah, they've already announced that SummerSlam in Boston's canceled. It's going to be at the Performance Center in August. So who knows how long this will last? So
no longer the biggest party of the summer.
Nope. And I don't know if anyone's partying this summer. So.
Technically, like I said, no one's partying this summer, so it still might be.
As long as they're not running a sloppy ship, or as whatever Taz called it. So
floppy ship. I'm going to practice that speech and learn the whole promo, and I'm going to get that right.
Can't wait to see it.
I look forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm going to start tonight. I'm going to rewatch that promo, and I'm going to get that right.
1 minute warning time if you guys have anything this week. Do y'all have anything this week, or?
I do, and it's not the usual fare.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
We're in uncharted waters now, so.
All right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go.
I know we're going to talk about this in the preview for Extreme Rules, but on Monday Night Raw, they continue the feud of Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. And Rey Mysterio got to decide the stipulation for the match at Extreme Rules. Because it's Extreme Rules, they have to have, gimmicks now. and he called they're going to I'm not really good at Spanish, even though my last name is Rodriguez, but I believe it is ojo por ojo, an eye for an eye match. And WWE came out and confirmed that you have to pull the opponent's eye out of the other person.
Oh, gosh.
And all I'm going to say is this. Yes, I stole this from online, but why did they not just make this an I quit match? That would have made so much more sense, and you wouldn't have to I don't even want to know what they're going to do. You have to pull out your opponent's eye.
How very Lucha Underground of them, I think is another comment that I saw.
Well, yes. So we said that in the group talk, though. I was like, okay, well, now, if Rey Mysterio turns us into some Aztec ritual with a whole bunch of, chanting and other stuff, then maybe I'm into this, but I don't know.
Well, I think Jericho posted something on Twitter from Moxley and Santana's match saying, like, eye for an eye match, and then he said, "You're welcome." Because Jericho, because for all the trolls in wrestling right now, there is no better troll in wrestling than Chris Jericho. Yeah. The rest of us can't even come close.
And this is obviously going to be their cinematic match, because if the way the finish, if this is legit, you're gonna.
I love how that's so obvious.
You're gonna hire Robert Rodriguez to do the simple visual effects of an eye popping out. That's basically what you're doing.
I don't know. I went like Temple of Doom, like and he like goes in.
Alima.
Oh, there he goes, Alima. That's what it was. And he's like, got the eye, and
At what point is it too much? That's my thing. At what point is the cinematic stuff just a little too much?
I'm gonna right along the lines of eyeballs being ripped out. That's right where
that's what I call it exactly.
Yeah. Firefly Funhouse.
Then they'll show up a week later. I'm good. A good glass eye or some shit like that. Who knows? But
you know what's funny about this? Matt Hardy should call Vince and be like, "Vince, are you okay, man?" Yeah. Because when I did this stuff, at worst, we kind of blew up fireworks in the other person's face and pinned them on the ring we had in our backyard. We never took it this far, bro. Are you okay?
Vince is just in his like little room by himself. Yeah, we're gonna rip someone's eye out. Yeah. Triple H is like, okay.
He's like, Troy's on the phone. You want to do what?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, Vince.
Oh, so like they have to poke each other.
Hey, he hangs the phone up, guys. He's finally lost it. Quick.
But I can just see the conversation like, oh, yeah. So they have to like poke each other in the eye. No. They have to rip it out. Everyone's just like,
and everyone just sits there and blank stares on their faces.
Is that the Mysterio, like for real?
Like that's what you want to come up with? Like I don't know. There's so many other options you could have done, and why?
They walk outside the office and just stare at each other. You know, I didn't really think y'all were trying to take your eye out. No, I didn't. I didn't think that's real ever. What was that?
Yeah.
Again, I think the I Quit match would have been much better. EYE. Yeah.
I Quit, First Blood. You have all these options. Something simple. Come on, what's going on here? It's not even Halloween yet, for crying out loud.
What? Yeah, why is it called Horror Show? I didn't get that from the start.
I guess we'll talk about that more next week, I think. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Tommy, do you have anything this week? 1 minute warning. You good?
Kind of. Yeah. Okay. And mine's also not what you're expecting.
Okay.
Well, how am I going to find out what's going on in Japan then?
I'll tell you later. Anyway.
Okay.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, mine is actually going to be about Impact Wrestling. I know we're going to talk about Slammiversary soon, but I'm impressed with how they've been handling things, especially with all the scandals, everything going on. But even before then, they were doing some pretty cool stuff. Like, I'm a huge Ace Austin fan. I love his heel gimmick. I love his snarkiness, his assurity of his own skill. I love him with Batman Fulton now. I loved OVE. That was a great stable. They broke up, whatever. It's all good. But I'm loving the impact, the direction they're going. I'm loving that they still have such an emphasis on the knockouts division. Deonna Purrazzo coming in like a beast, and of course Jordan Grace still being the beast that she is. So it's really cool. Even without the fans in attendance, they've been doing really, really killer shows. Really great stuff. And like JC said, even with Tommy Dreamer's promo, all the stuff they're doing, it's just really cool to see how Impact's doing, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So yeah.
You mentioned the Knockouts Division 2, and this just before we recorded, they were in their episode this week. Kylie Ray herself was teaming with Susie and got Taya Valkyrie to tap out, which for somebody who held the title for over a year, that's impressive. So, they're building Kylie Ray up. So
that's cool.
Mm-hmm. I don't have anything this week on 1 Minute Warning. I think I said enough last week for 2 weeks. Although I have heard that Austin Aries has joined the whole I don't need to wear a mask movement.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has.
All I'm going to say is I'm not going to listen to a guy that was pretty unprofessional when he had to drop the title to Johnny Impact. So, no reason for me to say anything else. So, please, just wear a damn mask. It's not that hard.
Well, I'll say it. You're an idiot. Wear a mask.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Wear a mask. Fine. If you're going to say I don't have to follow my rights, I shouldn't have to. You know what? It's like saying, all these people getting arrested, if they would just follow directions and follow the law, they wouldn't be getting arrested or anything like that. Yeah, then follow the law and wear a damn mask. Who cares?
Yeah.
So, anyway, AEW Fyter Fest Night 2, this Wednesday, July 8th, 7 p.m. It's part of AEW Dynamite on TNT. Again, going to be at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Looking forward to it. Night 1 was great. Night 2 is fun. I'm enjoying these really big shows that they just put as part of Dynamite. I think it's really cool that they're doing this. So it really helps build up the brand as well. So our Twitter account is at @CCG_WrestleCast. Subscribe to our channel here at the Countdown City Geeks. Chat along with us, comment, tweet at us. Let us know what you think about Fyter Fest and what you're looking forward to for next week. Yeah. What's up, Tommy?
Before we go, just shout out because he was pretty big deal. Rest in peace to Killer Tim Brooks, who passed away. A lot of the guys, Brent McKenzie and I know Machko went to his visitation. So just, rest in peace. And Barrett Brown, I think, was there too. So rest in peace to him and condolences to his family and everyone he impacted. I never met him, but, those guys are friends of ours. So, rest in peace to him.
God, it's so hard when things happen going on because sometimes a lot of people just can't attend the funeral with everything that's going on. So,
yeah.
Condolences to family and friends. You mentioned Barrett Brown. He actually had a hilarious video with Angel Blue not too long ago. I guess they were traveling from a show and stopped at some weird gas station that had flavored soda. And they just recorded themselves doing a video of which one was the ugliest and worst tasting flavored soda. These are sodas that taste like dirt flavored. It was the most random thing you've ever seen. So I'll try and find a link to the video.
It sounds like something Angel Blue would do. I'm a little shocked that Barrett Brown is that goofy, but you know what? Whatever.
You know what? I'll find the link and show you. But,
send it to me. I'm down for watching that.
Comment, let us know what your thoughts are on Fyter Fest. And next week we're going to recap Fyter Fest and preview Impact Slammiversary and WWE, insert long name here, Extreme Rules. So
the horror show.
You mean WWE Horror Show I-95 South 3589 487 European Intercontinental Extreme Rules.
Freddie versus Jason,
Champion.
Whatever, yeah. So
and at this point, the main event should be R-Truth for the 24/7 title. I don't care who's champion. I don't care who's challenger. If the show's going to be that weird, R-Truth should be the main event. I don't care anymore. That's just it just should be the thing.
Extreme Rules, you're not even in this show. My bad. My bad. I knew that.
Are you sure? Yeah, I'm positive.
I thought this was Survivor Series. My bad. So
y'all be good.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to go watch R-Truth videos.
Yeah, those are always a good pick-me-up. Always.
We thank you again, everybody, for watching and subscribing. We enjoy just getting together, even if it's through a Skype call with all this. We do miss getting together in person and talking wrestling.
Indeed.
But it makes the pandemic that much a little bit easier to deal with. So
yeah.
So we're looking forward to next week because there's going to be a lot. And Impact Slammiversary, as we've talked about, looks amazing. So definitely looking forward to that. For the Countdown City WrestleCast, thank you again to Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
Mike.
Thanks. Be good to each other, guys.
And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here.
And if you want to watch more WrestleCast videos, I got 3 words for you. Click right here.